Welcome back to another episode of Fairytale Reddit Stories. I'm your host Freyda, and today we're joined in the studio by two very special guests. Snow White and the Pied Piper, everybody! Thank you so much. I'm such a big fan of the show, so I'm just stoked to be here. Thank you so much for coming on. And before we begin, can we just take a moment for your shoes? Thank you so much. I am so excited about these shoes. When you've had a near-death experience, suddenly you're like, you know what? I'm going to buy the shoes. Round of applause for the shoes, everybody. Okay. Jumping straight in with our stories today, all of these come from Am I the Asshole? So, am I the asshole for not being attracted to my man after his transformation? Strange title, I know, but due to some fairy tale lore beyond my control, my 20 female man, 26 male, got transformed from a 7-foot beast into a 5'5" average Joe. I know it sounds wrong, but I was much more attracted to him when he was in beast form. I miss the muscles, the hair, and the fangs so much at this point I'm beginning to doubt if he's the one for me. I've tried looking into some spells and potions to see if there's a way of changing him back, but there's nothing in the magic archives. Upside is he's loaded and we live in a castle, so maybe I can stick it out for that. So Reddit, I need some advice. Am I the asshole? Yeah, this to me sounds quite shallow and quite sad. Like, although he's been through a physical change, he's still the same person on the inside. And also, it sounds like she needs therapy if she's attracted to animals. Yeah, definitely a red flag. Let's read some comments here. Not the asshole. I get that love is supposed to be about inequalities, but physical attraction matters too. You can't force attraction, and it seems like the change wasn't something you had a say in. You didn't ask for a transformation, and it's natural to feel different about someone when they look completely different. Another one says, you're the asshole. It sounds like you were more in love with the idea of the beast rather than the person he actually is. He's still the same person on the inside. If you can't accept the new him, maybe you need to rethink if you're in the right relationship. Yeah, because eventually your looks will fade too. Like, OP might be young now, but in 50 years, she's going to have grey hair, some wrinkles, and what if he decides he wants to leave her because of that? Like, it's so superficial. Yeah, I can see both sides on this one, and this really has the people divided because there's no verdict. So let us know in the comments what you think about this dilemma. Okay, so next story. Am I the asshole for cursing a newborn baby because I wasn't invited to the party? Uh-oh. I, 33 female, have always had a good relationship with the royal family in my kingdom. I've attended weddings, funerals, and was even part of the Queen's court for a while. The King and Queen recently had a baby, and I was elated for them. It was announced that the christening would be this Saturday at the castle, and the entire kingdom was invited except for me. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but when I inquired, I discovered that I'd been deliberately uninvited. I am fuming and can't think of what I might have done wrong, so I decided to go anyway and confront them. Yikes, that's never a good idea. When I got there, the King and Queen acted like they didn't even know me and told me to leave in front of everyone. I was shocked and offended, and in the heat of the moment, I cursed their baby so that she'd only live to 16. I admit it was a little over the top, but reputation is everything in the Fairytale Kingdom, and I feel like they've destroyed mine. A life for a life. I get it, 100% reputation is important here, and it's so easy to be labeled a villain, but I feel like her reputation could have been salvaged before she cursed a baby. There's no going back from that. Yeah, let's read some comments here. Did you ever find out why you were uninvited? Because if they excluded you for no good reason, I can kind of understand the frustration. With that being said, the curse is a huge overreaction. There's got to be a better way to handle things than using dark magic. Was this really the first time they'd excluded you, or has there been any tension before? Yeah, and I feel like we're not getting the whole story here because it got nasty so quickly. Like, she didn't even bother to find out why they uninvited her before going. She definitely went to the function with the intention of causing a confrontation. Another comment here. You're the asshole. There's no scenario where cursing a baby is ever a good idea. I get that it's hurtful to be excluded, but come on, you can't just go around hexing children. That's kind of villainous. Yeah. I hope this person enjoys their new life as a villain because, yikes. I'd agree. Well, the verdict is asshole, obviously. No surprises there. So, next story. Am I the asshole for not providing insurance to some of my fairy tale customers? For context, I, 23 male, work as an insurance broker for the Fairytale Kingdom. If you live here, you'll know there are certain characters who come with higher risk. Although it's unspoken, as strictly speaking, we're not supposed to acknowledge anyone's storyline in case it doesn't pan out the way it was written. Last week, 3 little pigs came in inquiring about home insurance. I felt bad, but I said I couldn't insure them. They obviously knew their storyline, but despite this, they were pissed, and I feel guilty knowing that inevitably they're going to end up homeless. So am I the asshole for doing my job? Yeah, this one reminds me of Humpty Dumpty and the whole life insurance scandal, right? Yeah, I think it's the hardest part of being a fairy tale character is that people assume so much about you because of your story. Oh, 100%. The amount of people that are like, oh my God, Snow, there's an apple over there. Like, be careful. And I'm like, guys, it was one apple one time, okay? It's not all apples. It could have been any fruit. It could have been any object. It just happened to be an apple. And now I'm the apple girl. Yeah. And Pied, you must get that with rodents too. All right, well, let's read some comments here. You're the asshole. I get that you're following the rules, but it seems like you could have at least tried to offer them some alternative options. There's got to be something else you can do for them, maybe suggesting they use better building materials or take out a specialised policy that covers wolf-related damage. You knew what was going to happen to them, and you could have done more. Yeah, I feel like maybe some small print could have got around that. Ooh. Another one here, not the asshole. This is a classic case of it's not personal, it's business. The pig's house is literally made of straw. You're right to consider the potential loss. Imagine the liability. You can't just throw coverage at everything because it makes you feel bad. Yeah, I understand. Like, because at the end of the day, it's a business. Like, not everybody can make money selling their IP. The verdict on that one was not the asshole. So. Okay, final dilemma. Am I the asshole for building a house made of candy in the enchanted forest? I, 66 female, had a custom-built house made from candy constructed in the enchanted forest. The locals are accusing me of using it to attract children so I can eat them. I am a witch, so I can sort of understand why people jump to negative conclusions, but I turned vegan a couple of months ago and now I only eat children during the holidays. Okay. I'm really trying to turn my life around and thought the house would be a good way to lift my spirits. Okay, number one, she is lying to herself. She said that she built this house to lift her spirits? Like, come on. Straight up, if you were really trying, you wouldn't have made your house out of something that's going to attract children. She needs therapy. Yeah. Just going back to the last dilemma too, I wonder how easy it would be to get home insurance on a building like that. I bet that was a challenge. Interesting. Let's read some comments. You're the asshole. I get you're trying to turn your life around, but candy house in the enchanted forest? That's a red flag. Maybe try a non-edible house next time. Yeah, I think this is unanimous. And is it possible to track the IP on this dilemma? Yes. Now that's a good idea. Yeah, we will. We will definitely do that. Well, that's it from us today. I'd like to say a huge thank you to our guests, Snow and Pied. Thank you so much for having us. We've had an absolute blast and we can't wait to come back. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button, and we'll be back next week with more Fairytale Reddit stories and new guests. Until next time, stay whimsical, Fairytale friends.